Good morning, everyone. Sorry about starting late, but the community centre, of course, returned my call just before the class was due to start. So I didn't want to miss that because keen to get those classes up and running again at the community centre. Good. So if you do have a roller, then we'll make use of that. If you don't have one, I will give you different options. So don't just tune out because you don't have a roller. So enjoy. And have a few different options for the hover, you'll be pleased to hear. For those of you who are getting bored with the hover, tune in. All right, let's get started. Standing spine roll. So just remember, if you do have sore shoulders or sore lower back or sore neck, follow your different options. Okay, so standing spine roll. So tripod with the feet, keep your knees soft, make sure that you are realigning. So deep breath in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, peel your spine off that imaginary wall. Notice how far down you are reaching. Beeline, use the abdominals to support your spine from halfway up, tuck with the pelvis, squeeze the core to the upright. And again, breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, and roll it down. Notice how far you are reaching. Beeline, use the abdominals to support the spine, and curl to the upright. You've got one more. Breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, and roll it down. Notice how far you are reaching. Use the abdominals to support the spine, and curl one vertebra up at a time. We'll do a straight-armed pec stretch against the wall. So your wrist will be at shoulder level and slightly behind your torso. And we will flex through the wrist. Make sure that you're not pulling back through the fingers. So pulsing the hand towards the wall. It is a nerve stretch. So if you do get any tingling, then that is fine. So if it's too much tingling, don't flex back too much. Spread your fingers wide. Turn the hand up. Round, hand is slightly behind your torso, make sure your feet are hip distance. Pulse the heel of the hand towards the wall. Keep your shoulders relaxed, no hunching. Maintain the tuck under with the tailbone. Now either just hold it there, or if you like a firm stretch, walk your feet around towards the center of the room as much as you can. Soften the elbows slightly if you need to. Relax your shoulders, no hunching. Turn the feet towards the wall. Now just take the arm up to about a 45-degree angle there. And you can either just hold that there, leaning slightly forwards, getting that stretch coming through to the pec. So just lean into it. Or once again, you can have a little twist and then a slight lean. Make sure that you're not hunching. You'll feel that stretch into a slightly different position coming through to the pec and through the arm. So just work within your limits, especially with the sore shoulder. Turn the feet towards the wall. Now take that arm even higher. Turn the feet around and lean slightly forwards. So loosening through those pecs and shoulder joints. Turn the feet towards the wall, ease that arm off. And over onto the other side. Now your hand is at shoulder height. So turn the hand up and over. Fingers are spread wide, not too far away from your wall. And turn that tuck and pulse the heel of the hand towards the wall. Looking directly forwards and keep your shoulders relaxed, guard against hunching. And you're pulsing with the heel of the hand, not just with your fingers. Now either hold it there or that firmer stretch, turning your feet towards the center of the room as much as you can. Relax your shoulder and breathe through that stretch. So you will get it coming through into the pec, but it may go down that whole arm. And back to the center. Now take that arm up to that 45-degree angle. Now you can just lean slightly forwards or turn the feet slightly round and then lean forwards for your further stretch. Still maintaining that tuck with the pelvis. And relax the shoulder, don't hunch. Looking forwards, don't pull around with your neck. Breathe through the stretch and don't overstretch. And turn the feet towards the wall, taking that arm even higher, feet to the center, and a little lean. So it doesn't take much of a lean before you feel that stretch coming through into your shoulder and into that hip. And it may come down the whole arm as well. Turn the feet towards the wall, easing the arm off the wall. All right. Now you can do your normal hamstring stretch. So you can lie on the floor and do hamstring stretch. Just bring that camera in a little closer. Otherwise, we're going to roll out. We're going to roll out the IT band to start. So make sure you've got plenty of room to roll and you're not going to be hitting your head on some furniture over there. Start with your roller midway through your thigh, and to make it easier, you go onto your elbow and you have that top leg forwards. You'll roll all the way to the knee and all the way to the hip. If you find a sore spot, have a little rock and roll. Now, if you're finding that easy, you can vertically step and bring yourself up into your hand so that you've got more pressure through that IT band. And yes, this one is painful. So guard against hunching. If you're not doing that, keep that shoulder down. Yes, the arm is working. Make sure that you squeeze your core. All the way to the knee and all the way to the hip. Nice and slow. Don't be in too much of a hurry. Okay, find your sore spot and have a little roll, a little rock and roll backwards on that sore spot. Make sure that you're nice and vertically stacked, you're not rolling backwards. Okay, and what we do now, now you can do a thigh stretch if you don't have a roller. So lying on your side, bringing that foot to the buttock, stretching back. Otherwise, we're going to just do a little quarter turn and roll into the front of the thigh. So onto your elbow on the other hand. So you're getting into that, so just that outer part of your thigh muscle. Go close to your hip joint. Give that a roll. Remember, shoulder blades are in pocket. No hunching with that shoulder. And don't just let the head dangle. Looking forwards. And then move yourself up a bit. So getting into the front of that thigh, squeeze your core, looking for those sore spots in your quad muscle, and work it down a little. And then closer to the knee, and a little roll. You want to make it more intense, you can lift that leg off the floor as well, or keep it down if it's intense enough. Remember to breathe. And what you do to one side, you do to the other. And yes, I've managed to scoop that mat over again. So now if you don't have your roller, you're doing hamstring stretches on both sides and your thigh stretch. So that roller midway through the thigh, either on your elbow rolling, otherwise vertically stacked, so that you put more pressure through. Make sure that you're right on the outside of that thigh, you're not rolling back, because our tendency is to try to take the pressure off the painful areas. Go with the pain. So all the way to the knee, looking for those sore spots, nice and slow, sink into that roller, squeeze your core. If the sore spot is close to the hip, then have a little rock and roll on that. If it's too sore, come just off it and go just next to that. And it's often one like midway through the thigh. There's often a spot nice and close to the knee there. Squeeze your core. All right. And now getting into the front of that thigh, so you're on your elbow and nice and close to the hip. Squeeze your core, no bananas into the back. It's a bit like the hopper. And give that thigh a roll, looking for sore spots. And intensify by lifting that other leg off the floor as well. Just make sure you're not sagging and through your back. Draw in like you would for the hover. So find those sore spots into your thigh. So it's more on the outer part of your thigh that we're working at the moment. That's often where it's sore. All right. Good. Okay, now you can do, if you don't have a roller, you'll be doing a buttock stretch. So your buttock stretch like that. Otherwise, we'll give those buttocks a roll out. So first of all, we aim it for right into the centre of the buttock, then we'll lean back and get into that upper buttock and lower back area. So take a seat. If we were stretching the right buttock, we put the right foot on the left knee. So it's the same thing, we roll in the buttock, right foot on the left knee, and we roll that right buttock. Relax the buttock muscle and look for those sore spots. Make sure you're not dragging into those shoulders. Keep your shoulders lifted, bend your elbows, squeeze your core. So get that weight all onto that right hand side. Now pop your right elbow down and get into that upper buttock, lower back area. Squeezing the core and finding those spots into that. Looking for painful spots. So often with the sore lower back, we can get those tight buttocks and pain through into this area. So rolling it out helps to relieve that pain. Okay, now the other side. So now left foot on the right knee and we lean to the left hand side. So right from the top of that buttock first, relax the buttocks, have a little roll. Remember to squeeze your core and not sink into those shoulders. And now left elbow down and getting into that upper buttock, lower back. And we're looking for those sore spots. If you find a sore spot, have a little roll onto that. Even a little higher if you need to. And then easing out of that. All right, now we're going to be rolling the upper back, so more the thoracic area, and arching back. So counterbalancing all that work we're always doing forwards, hunched over. We're trying to get that extension, reverse that curve. Now, if you don't have a roller, you can roll a towel up. It's not quite as effective, obviously, but it's still going to be something. You can roll your towel up. You won't be able to roll on it like we're doing, but what you can do is place it into your back. So first of all, around the bra strap, sorry, you know where I'm meaning that. You can take it over and stretch it out like that. And just hold that stretch and breathe through it. And so hold it for about the good count of 15, pop it into a slightly different spot in that upper back, and arch over it again. And breathe through that, really sinking into that. Keep your chin tucked in. And a cool noodle or something will do the same sort of thing. So as to get that extension, you could even roll 2 towels up so that you've got something thicker to extend back over. So you can do that while we are rolling. If you're rolling, now tuck with the pelvis. I want your back curved in this position at the moment. Interlink your fingers, your head is well supported. Squeeze your core and roll like a rolling pin, nice and slow along your spine. So use your legs to push yourself out. Tummy is tight. And nice and slow. So elbows are tucked in, so your shoulder blades come out the way. You can lean slightly to the right-hand side and get those muscles on the right-hand side of the spine, or obviously the same thing on the left. So if you notice you're a little bit sore and tight on the side, you can lean over a bit. You take it as low into the back as you comfortably can. Sometimes people get to a spot just at the bottom of the ribs and they feel really uncomfortable. Then stop earlier if you need to. All right. Now, when that roller is about ground level, relax the buttocks down and arch your back over it. Now, if you're comfortable doing so, you can let the head dangle, interlink the fingers, and reach the hands for the back wall. You can also straighten the legs out for a firmer stretch. If you're not comfortable with that, you can keep a grip on your head. You're trying to get your head on the floor, you're trying to mold your back around that roller, and the buttocks are on the floor. Breathe through this. Use the hands to lift the head. Move that roller slightly lower into your back, so into a different spot. And the same thing, tummy tight, and let your head dangle and arch yourself back over that roller. You're trying to straighten your elbows as much as possible, reaching your hands towards the wall and breathing. And move it into a slightly different spot, whether that's either up or down. So you can go into different spots along the spine and mold your back around that road. Breathe through it, just let your head dangle. Giving that whole stretch in through that rib cage as well as your shoulders. Obviously, if the stretch is too much, then don't bring those shoulders down so much. Now, use your hands to bring your head up and roll again. Tuck your chin in and roll. So, after you've had that little stretch, give yourself another roll. If you do have a sore spot, then just go backwards and forwards on that sore spot. So it's to loosen up into that upper back area where we can get very tight with things like ironing or punching over while you're doing or working on the computer, that sort of thing. Well, everything we do, it tends to be forwards. Good, okay. So that's a bit of rolling instead of stretching. Now, if you're not going to spend all the time stretching and rolling, it's time for some work. So, just get that mat in the right spot again. I do tend to scoot around on it. Perfect abdominal curl. So if you have a roller, you will lie down on your roller for perfect abdominal curl. If you don't, you'll be firmly planted on the floor. So to lie down on your roller, take a seat. So right on the edge of your roller, hands down, tuck with the pelvis, and lift yourself slowly down. Make sure that your head is properly on that roller. Lift up and lengthen out into your lower back. Okay, so knees together and interlink your fingers. So perfect abdominal curl, maintaining your natural curl. Natural curl, squeeze ribs to hips. Breathe out to curl up, keeping those elbows nice and wide. Breathe in a small release back. So squeezing ribs to hips, maintaining your natural curve, working from your center. Remember, you can hop hands onto your opposite shoulders if you feel like you're straining in through your neck, or if you'd like more of a challenge. So it's supporting the head more. Lift your shoulder blades off that roller and a small release back. As you curl up, engaging through tummy and pelvic floor, squeeze your knees firmly and make sure that you are pulling those abdominals in. One more, relax it back. Just check that you still have your natural curve, but that you've not gone into a large curve in the back. And then another set. Squeeze ribs to hips. Nice deep breaths, use your breathing. So breathing out to curl up, breathing in. A small release back. So squeeze ribs to hips. Relax it back and make sure that your fingers are interlinked. And we'll do rotations. You may not be able to rotate quite as much as you usually do, but rotate within your limits of not falling off that roller. So you need to squeeze your core. Contract forwards, armpit to the opposite knee. Look towards your knees and across to the other side. So just within your limits of not falling off that roller, but getting a rotation from your rib cage. Breathe things as you rotate. Squeeze the knees, squeeze the core, as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. And relax it down. And now we have got the hundreds. Yes, you're going to be on your roller for the hundreds. Or on the floor if it's hurting your back or there's some other reason. Try to have your fingertips on the floor. So remember, lengthen out. Now, to make it easier, we're going to keep those feet above the buttocks. And for more of a challenge, you're going to contract forwards. If you want to challenge, you're going to lower the legs to where your lower back is still imprinted. So squeeze ribs to hips. Obviously, your hands are on the floor. Try to be on your fingertips. Squeeze the inner thighs, pinch the buttocks. You can rest the head back if you need to. So use those abdominals. Squeezing ribs to hips, relax your shoulders. Don't have those elbows on the floor, no cheating. And take it gently down. You will notice there were no arms overhead. That would not have ended prettily. Okay, so we'll try that again. So keep the head resting down if you need to. And same thing, if your neck is straining while you're on the roller, roll your towel up and put the towel in underneath the head. So you're looking forwards at that 45-degree angle. So fingertips on the floor, knees into the chest, extending the legs up. If you want that challenge, legs are lowered. And if you want more of a challenge, lifting your head. Squeeze ribs to hips. So work from those abdominals, squeeze the inner thighs, pinch the buttocks. Maureen, flex those feet. Squeezing ribs to hips. Tuck the chin and look towards your knees. Breathe through the hundreds. And release it down gently. Well done. All right. We're going to do a bicycling movement. So same thing, you can do it on the floor. Once again, head resting down or head lifted. And so you'll need to go a little bit slower when you're on the roller. So obviously not wanting to fall off that same hand position. Don't have your fingertips, not the whole arm resting on the floor. But obviously it's all within your limits. If that's all you can do, then you obviously can do it. So knees are into the chest. So I'll keep the head resting down first of all. So a more upright bicycle if your back is sore, and otherwise the leg low to the floor, and otherwise lifting head and shoulders. So squeeze ribs to hips. So it's a strong side arch as you lower. Beeline to keep yourself on that roller. Keep squeezing ribs to hips. Reverse that bicycle. Push through the heel to extend the leg up towards the ceiling. Keep squeezing ribs to hips. Keep beelining so that you don't take a tumble off your roller. And release it down gently. Have you felt those tummy muscles working? You notice how you have to work a little harder to balance yourself on that roller. Okay, so now if you don't have a roller, you will simply do your heel taps, where you will keep, well, with the heel taps on the floor, you will tap and then lift, tap and lift, maintaining that pelvic tilt, lower back imprinted. If you are doing it on the roller, we're going to do it differently to challenge your balance more. So we will lift the right leg into tabletop, and the left arm will be level with your body. And you will tap, you'll hinge from your hip, get that same bend in the knee, and you'll draw thigh towards your rib cage. Now, if you are feeling clever, lift that arm off the floor as well. So breathe out to lift, breathing in to lower. Squeeze your core. So otherwise, you can have that hand on the floor if you're not able to do it with both arms lifted off the floor. Draw thigh towards your rib cage, breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. And now lift that up there. And if you haven't got both arms lifted, now's your chance to lift both arms and hold it there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Close your eyes. And relax, sit down. So now changing sides. So now your left leg is lifted and your right arm is lifted. Make sure your shoulder blades are in pocket, your chin is tucked in, and you have your small natural curve. So breathe out to draw thigh towards your rib cage, breathe in to lower. So you will often have a more challenging side, which you will have to work a little harder on. So remember getting your stability by squeezing the core and pinching through the buttocks. So if you're able to, lift both arms off the floor. Breathe out to draw thigh towards your rib cage. Breathe in to lower. Now if you haven't already, lift that leg off the floor and both hands are up off the floor, squeezing the core, holding that, and close your eyes for more of a challenge. And release, sit down. Well done. Okay. Now if you're on the floor, keep your knees bent and be aware of your natural curve, and we will do angel wings. Now angel wings on the roller is a little bit more challenging. You're going to be getting more of a stretch through your pec muscles. So reach through your fingertips and lots of obstacles in my way here. There we go. Sliding your arms in that arc up to your head. Now, if it is tight, you can nudge. No, don't cheat by arching away from that roller. Get your pelvis in the right position and tuck your chin in. Just breathe through it and nudge yourself up higher. So within the limits of your tight shoulders, if you need to, you can lift your arms off the floor to complete your circle, and as soon as you're able to, bring those hands back down to the floor. If you're not able to keep your fingertips on the floor to complete that circle, so just back to 90, those weights are still in the way, and back up again. So as you take those arms overhead, try as much as you can to keep your rib cage flat and don't let that rib cage go out. So breathe out to get that connection with the abdominals and the rib cage. All right, so that's one for you to snap on with those tight shoulders. You will notice if you do it on the floor, then do it on the roller, then go back onto the floor. It's much easier the second time when you're on the floor. Now, if you are if you are not on the roller, I want you in the stop sign position, elbow in line with your shoulder, and we'll try and get that forearm onto the floor. So you can hold your hand weights now. Now, if you are on the roller, it's more of a W position. So your elbows are down and your hand will be more or less in line with your shoulder. So we're going to use the weights to try to get those wrists onto the floor. So pinch your shoulder blades towards each other, tuck your chin in, and no hunching with your shoulders. Just breathe through it, and within your limits of discomfort, getting that external rotation at your shoulders, trying to, so mine have eventually gone down onto the floor now, and getting that strong stretch through into the pecs. So otherwise, if you're not on that roller, you will be in that 90 position and trying to get that forearm onto the floor. Okay. So if you are on the floor, push down with the wrist, the elbow, and gently pinch your shoulder blades. Tuck your chin in, so you're pressing down through the back of the head. Hold, 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 and then just relax. So you'll feel those muscles into the upper back pinching. So tuck your chin in, Push down with the back of the head to flatten through the curve of the neck. Press the wrist and the elbow into the floor. Squeeze, gentle pinching between your shoulder blades. And then relax, which is still staying in that position. So whichever one you're doing, either on the roller or in that 90 position on the floor, pinch your shoulder blades. Press down into the floor. Get that opening through the chest. Good pec stretch. Just careful now as you come up and out of that. Okay. All right. So we're going to do some arms on the roller. Otherwise, you can do your arms on the floor. If you are doing your arms on the floor and still knees are bent, and be aware of your natural curve and your chin tucked in, you can have a pillow or a towel underneath the head. If you're doing on the floor, you're going to do them both together. Shoulders are pressed away from your ears, and you're going to take those hands out in line with your shoulders and squeeze them from your chest to lift. If you are on your roller, you're going to do them one at a time so it throws you off balance. Bring your heels in underneath your knees. Feet are nice and close together but not touching their fist width apart. Chin is tucked in. Breathing out to lower and a deep breath in to raise. So it's throwing you off balance as you take that arm across to the side. V-line. Squeeze your core, that core sit around your center. Pinch through the buttocks. Squeezing from the inner thighs, but no cheating. Don't allow your knees to touch. So if you're doing it on the floor, you'll be doing both at once. On the roller, one at a time, so it throws you off balance. So you are having to work a little harder with those abdominals to maintain your balance. All right. And now back up to the center, squeeze your weights together. So feet are still nice and close together, as close as they can be where they're not touching. Keep your chin tucked in, take the arms down as low as you can. You don't need to touch the floor, keep the elbows straight. Now as you come up, initiate the movement from the shoulder joint. Push the shoulder joint down towards the hip. So you bring that ball and socket back into position. So if you have got a sore shoulder, you may not end up going so low. If you have got a sore shoulder, you can interlink your fingers and don't hold any hand weights. So it's the same if you're on the floor. Guard against arching as you take those arms overhead. So maintain that curve. You're going to have to work more strongly through those lower abdominals. So breathe out to lower and a deep breath in as you lift. So that strong sigh out as you lower, as you flatten through the ribcage, flatten the abdominals and push the shoulder blades down towards the hips. Bring the hands back up above the shoulders. You should notice that you're having to work more strongly with those lower abdominals to stop your lower back from arching as you take those arms up and overhead. And notice how much stronger you feel when you draw those shoulder blades into pocket. So you initiate the movement from the shoulder joint as you bring those arms back up again. So you're pressing the shoulder blades down towards the hips to lift the arms back up again. The shoulders will hunch, but as you come up, push those shoulders down again. All right, back up to the center. Now we're going to do circles. So shoulder blades are in pocket, palms are facing away from you, and then palms face up towards the ceiling. So nice large circles. Squeeze imaginary oranges in underneath the armpits as you bring those arms in. And being aware of maintaining those natural curves. So as the arms go overhead, you need to keep those abdominals in more firmly so that your lower back does not arch. Keep your chin tucked in to maintaining those same curves throughout your circles. Palms face away from you and palms face up to the ceiling. So as you sweep around, squeeze imaginary oranges in underneath the armpits. Keep your chin tucked in. Breathe in to raise, breathe out to circle. And we will, instead of reversing, we'll relax out of that. because we do need to leave some time to play with the hover. We haven't had to play with the hover yet. So now, rolling off your roller and just lie down flat for a moment. And you can take the arms up and down to keep chin. So you'll notice it feels like you're now lying in soft sand. You feel nice and comfortable on the floor after lying on the roller. Okay. We will do a few back extensions using the roller. So if you are not using the roller, it's your normal back extensions where your legs are wide, your hands are next to your shoulders, and you're getting the pushing up, or if it's your back is tight, get those arms further forwards, keep the shoulders away from the ears. Now, if you are using your roller, first of all, you'll just do a few punches and pullbacks. Punching and then draw shoulder blades into pocket. You can obviously do that also without the roller, just do the reaching and the drawing back. So do that with me, whether you have the roller or not at the moment. So punching and drawing those shoulders back. Make sure that you are beelining and pinching through the buttocks. Breathe out to draw back, breathe in to punch. So loosening through your shoulder joints and getting that mind body connection going to shoulder blades in pocket. Okay, so first now we will hunch and now we will lift up, roll on your roller. Lifting up as high as you can, elbows are soft and shoulders are down, and then slowly roll yourself down. So you start with the roller around wrist level, so that you can hunch and draw back and breathe in to lift up as high as you comfortably can. Head comes along for the ride, hunch, draw back and roll, bring it up. Shoulders away from your ears, soft elbows, no hyperextending on those elbows. So hunch, draw back and bring yourself up. Hunch, draw back and roll yourself up. Deep breath in as you lift yourself up. Hunch, draw back, breathing in to raise, breathing out, and one more. So reach, draw back, and bring it a little closer. Bend those elbows, tuck your elbows in, keep your chest lifted, keep those elbows nicely tucked in, and feel your triceps, no hunching with those shoulders. Holding, squeeze your core, draw those tummy muscles away from the floor, drop those shoulders away from your ears, really sit gently. Okay. We'll come back into rest position. So if you have a roller, you'll pop your hands on top of the roller. And now you will sink your chest down low, you'll get more of a stretching through your shoulders. Make sure that you have got equal weight on left and right hand, and try and sink your head towards the floor. Flatten your spine, press buttocks to the ribs. Straighten your elbows as much as possible. And easing out of that, it's a big stretch for those shoulders, so just give them a roll out. Okay, and some work on the hover now. So, if at any time we're doing a hover that is not suitable for you, you can do your normal hover and also feel free to just do it on your elbows. I won't actually time because these are more challenging ones. So you can. So remember, it's all in that pelvic tilt, so you isolate into the tummy and you're not feeling it in your lower back. So make sure that you're not arching or swaying forwards and dropping. It's that tuck under, isolate and shift. So you can be on your knees or otherwise on your toes. You can just do your normal one. Otherwise, you can pop your hands on top of the roller and be in the plank position. Actually, I will time this for a minute for this hover. So, getting into position, tuck your toes, lift it and hold it. So you're aiming for a nice straight line. It's quite harsh on those wrists. Maintain that tuck under with the tailbone and gently pinch your shoulder blades. You can have a little play around and do one leg up at a time for more of a challenge. Keep your pelvis and hips nice and still. Lift that leg just off the floor. If you're lifting the leg high, that means you've gone into back position. Squeeze your core. Shoulders away from the ears. Maintain that tuck under with the tailbone and keep your elbows soft. It takes you to a minute. Have a little rest and give those wrists a shake out. Okay, and into rest position. Just reach into the back. Okay. Now we're going to do a walking hover. So first of all, we're going to walk into that plank position and walk back. So now, if this is not suitable for you, feel free to do some swimming. So your easier one, you can do your one arm, one leg. Okay. If you don't want to do this walking hover. So it's a walking plank. So you're going to roll down, chin to chest, and walk yourself out until you're in that plank position. And then slowly walk yourself back up again. Okay. Walk it out. Squeeze your core into that hover, maintain the tuck under. Now, hinge up and slowly walk yourself back again. So, tummy nice and tight. And punching with those shoulders, keep soft elbows. Walk yourself into that plank. Squeeze your core. Walk yourself back up again. So try to not have a lot of wiggling and waggling from side to side. So squeeze your core to keep yourself nice and still as you walk yourself out. Shoulder blades in pocket. No bananas. Squeeze your core. Not too much side to side sway, and bring yourself back up and unfold. Give those wrists a little shake. All right. And now we're going to do a little bit of crab walking. We're going to go walking side to side. So once again, if those wrists are hurting and this one's not suitable for you, you can go on your elbows side to side, or otherwise do your back strengthening. Your one arm, one leg, you can do faster swimming now. So, in the plank. All right. So moving the legs and moving the arms. So walk yourself in a little crab walk over. Make sure that you're in a nice straight line. You haven't started to do that. And slowly walk yourself back again. Walk it out. Keep your hips nice and still, squeezing your core, maintaining that tuck under, nice straight line, and walk yourself back again. Walk it out. Is anybody still cold out there? And release it down gently. Give those wrists a little bit of a shake. Okay, so feel free to snap on those hoppers. I'll just do one more. We're going to do one with bent knees, so it's like a bear crawl. At this point, if you want an easier one, you can do your one arm, one leg. Okay. And so now, tap your toes and lift just off the floor. Walk it forwards. Don't let your knees touch the floor. And walk it back. Keep those knees off the floor and turn and tuck with the pelvis. All right, so that's another one to snap on. You're trying not to have a lot of side-to-side movement. You're squeezing the core, trying to keep that body stable, and walk it forwards, walk it back. Quite hard work on the wrists, so just make sure that you build it up gradually. Don't do too much too soon and end up with sore wrists. All right. We will do a shoulder bridge, and if you have a roller, you can pop your feet on that roller, or you can pop your feet up the wall or on the chair, or firmly planted on the floor. So this will be your last one, because you do it's like a whole body workout when you're putting it in that hover position, putting your hand, your whole body weight. We'll have the palms facing down for a change. Now try not to let that roller roll about. Keep your roller nice and still. Tuck with the pelvis, peel the spine off. Push your hips up high, squeezing the buttocks, and roll yourself down. And the last thing you'll do is release through that pelvic tilt. So pelvic tilt using tummy and pelvic floor. Squeeze the buttocks tight. Tuck your chin in. So you can have those palms facing up. And then turn that tuck with the pelvis. Roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Last thing you do is release that pelvic tilt. If you are cramping in your hamstrings, give it a quick stretch out, okay? And make sure that you are squeezing your buttocks more and squeezing in from the inner thighs. You can even have those knees together to take the pressure off the hamstring, get the buttocks working harder. Peel the spine off, squeeze the buttocks, push your hips up, and roll the spine down. Keep it flowing. Breathing out to peel off. Deep breath in to squeeze the buttocks and push the hips up. Breathing out to roll your spine down. So peeling the spine off the floor, squeeze the buttocks tight. Draw those abdominals in, rolling your spine down. Last thing you'll do is release through the pelvic tilt. Keep nice and open through the chest. Peeling your spine off, squeeze the buttocks, maintain that pelvic tilt, tucking with the pelvis, rolling back down. So peeling the spine off, push your hips up high and roll the spine down. Pelvic tilt, peeling off, squeeze the buttocks tight, squeeze those inner thighs and roll your spine down. Pelvic tilt, peeling off, push your hips up high and roll your spine down. Nearly there, tuck with the pelvis, peeling off, push your hips up, roll your spine down. And you have one more, peeling the spine off, push your hips up, roll the spine down. Give your knees a little hug into the chest, squeeze those knees to the chest. Give your knees a circle. Reverse your circle. And a quick hamstring stretch, because those hamstrings do work a lot more strongly when you are on that roller. So interlink the fingers and stretch it out. Pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, bend the elbows, knee to shoulder, shoulder blades are in pocket. And changing sides. So if you do have sore hamstrings tomorrow, you'll know where you got them. Remember to stretch it out. Easing out of that. And take a seat for some neck stretches. So place your hands on the wall, on the floor. Shoulder blades are in pocket, looking over your shoulder. And over the other side. Drop your head right back, chin right up to the ceiling. And chin to chest. And back to the neutral, drop ear to shoulder. Keep that opposite hand pressed into the wall. Looking directly forwards, keep your chin gently tucked in. And across to the other side, keeping your shoulders level. Let the ear drop down, pressing the opposite hand into the floor. Clasp your hands, pinch your shoulder blades, try and lift those arms as high up as you can. And release, and just a quick stretch for your upper back. And get your shoulders square onto that side wall. And release, relax through your shoulders. So I'll be having a meeting with the community centre today, so stay posted. The classes will start again soon. Well done. Have a good week.